Hi guys, it's Talia Janae, and welcome back to the Licensed Yapper podcast. Hey y'all, welcome back. So happy to see you, hear you. Hope you're feeling great, looking great. But today's episode's gonna be kind of all over the place, because there wasn't just one specific topic I wanted to talk about. So I'm kind of gonna jump around to different things. Hopefully y'all can stay on the path with me. I've done this I've done this style in a couple of episodes where like I didn't have one specific topic. I've kind of jumped from like topic to topic, which I kind of like because it just feels like I'm like talking, and I feel like when I'm with my friends naturally, we don't ever just stay on one topic. We're always jumping around. So I quite like this style, so I put down a little bit of different points that I want to talk about and hopefully get my opinion out there on. And then of course we have a reality recap. Reality recap is going to be back at the end. Um, I think I'm going to start doing them in the beginning just because the only reality show that we have now that like a lot of the stuff's over at the moment is Love Island. And so I'm thinking Love Island probably, actually, I lied. I think I'm going to start putting the reality recaps in the beginning now because now we don't really have any many reality shows going on at the moment that I personally watch. So the only one is Love Island, and it's not going to take that long. So I'm like, maybe we could put it towards the beginning, just see how that works, see how, if I like it or not. And if I don't like it, then I'll just switch it and put it at the end. But yeah, that's basically the plan. That's the plan for today. But today I am gonna do my topics first, just to get those out the way, and then we'll end it with the reality recap like we used to do it. And then I think starting next episode, I'm gonna do the Love Island recap in the beginning, and then we'll move on to like all the stuff that I personally want to talk about. Let's just go on and dive into the topic for today. So I was scrolling through TikTok like I usually do. I'm on there all the time. And a girl on TikTok, she asked this question. She was like, if you found the love of your life today, okay, what would change about your life? And I was sitting there thinking, and I was like, what an interesting question. Like, if I found like my person, they say, like today, I go out, I'm in the grocery store or something, and I found the person that I'm gonna be spend forever with. What would change about my personal life? And I was thinking, and then I came to the conclusion that nothing would change about my life. Like, nothing would change, really. It would be great that, like, I found that person and I, obviously would be married and have a relationship, but nothing about me, nothing about how my life is going would change. And I feel like if you say, oh, everything would change, I feel like that's a problem. And I feel like if you're, one of the girls and you answered that and you would say, oh, everything would change, I don't think that's a good thing, really, Pop. Like, I don't know if that's like the right answer. Because for me, I feel like a relationship should not enhance your life. Like, it shouldn't be this big thing that really changes who you are as a person in your life. Like, I feel like for me, I always think of the fact of like who I am now and how my life is going now. I personally love it at the moment. And if I had somebody come in, they'd just be joining into that, but they wouldn't enhance it or make it better. Like, no, I think sometimes, and you know what? I know girls on both sides of the coin. Like, I know some girls that would be like, oh, it would change so much, da, 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 it would change for the better. And then I know some girls I'd be like, girl, nothing would change. Like, I would have a man, but like, nothing about me personally would change. Nothing about my life would change. He's not going to make my life better. And I feel like women who have the mindset that men will make their lives better, or men will, so like suddenly having a man would change all these problems. Girl, no. If anything, a man's going to give you more problems. and I just feel like if you think yes, like if you think this man's going to enhance your life, I think you really should take a step back and think like maybe you're like a little bit male centered and like nothing about me. I'm Talia Janae every day, all day. You know what I'm saying? And no man will enhance that. Or I think men can make you, I think being in a, pause. I think being in a relationship could, show you different perspectives and help you grow as a person, probably. And, those are all things that are great, but enhance your life, make it better? I don't think so. You know what I mean? I think I'm very solid in who I am, and like I don't have a problem being single either. Like I've never been a girl that's like, oh, I hate that I'm single. And I know girls that don't like being single, that they just like being in a relationship after relationship. And I just feel like I know some people who feel like that will enhance their life or in some way. And it's like I will be who I am before the relationship and the relationship or even after it. And I feel like thinking that all these things will change because you're in a relationship is a little bit wild to me. Like that's not the reason why you changed. Like a man, if anything, is gonna bring you more stress. Okay, we know these men out here. You know what I mean? And I just feel like we're really in the male centered apocalypse at this moment. And like I love my women, like I always say, but I have to call us out sometimes because I feel like we really put men on this high pedestal and think that all these things will change just if I have a man, just if I have a boyfriend. And it's like, girl, no. If anything, like I think most of my friends are in relationships, not all of them, but a lot of them are. And like I have a friend that's married, and then I have a friend who's in like a very serious relationship at the moment. And I think there's both things that happen in those relationships that are good and bad. Not every relation, not their relationships aren't perfect just because they have a partner. They still have problems, they still have issues. So if you're going into a relationship thinking that you being with this person is going to enhance your life in some way, girl, no, it's not going to. And I think sometimes, and I think girls who feel that way, I think I'll also think, because it's just popped in my brain, girls who don't like being single, I think it's an insecurity thing. I don't think it's like oh, I just like being in a relationship. Everybody likes being in a relationship. But I think the fact that you don't want to be alone and you don't want to stay alone, or I think that's a little crazy. And like, when I heard that she asked that question, I was like, bro, I couldn't come up with one thing of what would really change. I had a man, okay, now I have a boyfriend. But other than that, nothing would really change. I feel like I'm the exact same way. And when I had a boyfriend almost a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, I feel like I was the same person. I feel like I didn't change that one bit. I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like I learned a lot from it, but did I change necessarily? Did it enhance my life? No. It just didn't. And I feel like I'd be lying if I said, yeah, it really did. Like, no, it just didn't. And I think because I think I see men as like, you know, they're here for partnership. They're here to help me grow, and not just in life, but in my relationship with Christ. And I feel like they could really lead and do all those things for sure, but they don't enhance my life in any way, or they don't like just because I have a man doesn't mean I'm like somehow on a different level. Like it's the same. It's the same. And I feel like if you do change when you're in a relationship versus when you're not, I think that's a little bit of a problem. Like I don't see that as like a I think that's a little bit strange. Why do you change? And it could not be for good, you know? I feel like I don't know. I think it's a really interesting question, and like tell me what y'all think about it, but personally, I don't think it would enhance my life at all. And I think if you think it will enhance your life, why do you think being with someone will enhance? You know what I mean? Like, that's a little wild to me. Like, and I think that's a problem. And I think you need to start looking inside of why you think you being with someone is going to enhance your life in some way, or you having a man in your life will enhance it. Girl, no. It'd be an addition. It should be an addition. That's what it is. A man should be an addition to your life, not enhance it. You know what I mean? Like, you can enhance your life on your own. Why do you need a guy to do that? And I think that just comes back to like having that self confidence in yourself, to knowing that like, hey, I'm fine on my own, but I want to be in a relationship. Yes, I think that's just where I stand on that point, because I feel like for me personally, me being single right now is all about me. Like I've never had as much fun as I've had right now in the single era that I'm in personally. And like I've never hung out with like so many of my girls before. Like I just feel like I'm living my life hanging out with the girls, going to dinner with the girls, cuz I feel like we have to remember that like we don't have that many girl nights left. And like, yes, of course, like you can always hang out with your friends, but like realistically, y'all, we're getting older, we're getting busier. People's lives are taking them in so many different directions. People might be moving, people might be getting married, having babies. There's not going to be a lot of time where you're just going to have to go there's not going to be a lot of time where you can just go and eat dinner with the girls or go and like go out with the girls, sing some karaoke with the girls. Those are something things me and my friends like to do. Karaoke and going to dinner. That's literally it. Or going to girls' trips, traveling. That's we don't have a lot of those left. And like I'm 24, and I think as I get older and as I get busier, as all my friends get busier, you start realizing that like you start seeing each other less, and like there's not a lot of those Friday nights and those Saturday nights start getting dwindler. Start and those Friday nights and those Saturday nights are dwindling, and like I want to right now in my single era, I guess, I want to have as much fun and grow as a person and have as much fun with my friends as possible. This is right now the moment where I'm making friends, where I'm making this right now in this moment, I'm making memories with my friends. I'm growing as a person. Like I love girl nights. Like those nights with just the girls are coming to an end. And like I think me and my friends are gonna be traveling and having fun together for the rest of the time. But realistically we're gonna be having different lives and life's gonna pull us in different directions. So like I wanna hang out with the girls. And like for me personally, like I don't like party. I say I don't really party. I don't really like drink. I'll have like a margarita or something, but for me, like I didn't really do those things. I didn't really like go out in college or anything like that. And in my town, like people go out in like high school. I didn't do that either. And I think just having a group of girls that we just have fun with, and we're not doing like partying necessarily. It's literally going to dinner, going to sushi every night, and then going to some karaoke, and we have a blast. And that's what I want, and I want that forever. And it's coming to an end, girls. Like girls' nights are the best nights. Like leave them in at home. Leave them at home, bro. Leave them at home, please. Like spend time with your girls, and like that's my single era, and that's why I'm so happy to be in it, because I wouldn't be doing these things if I was in a relationship. But yeah, like it's the best, and I feel like a lot of times we lose and we forget that like one day we're all gonna be like we're gonna one day we're all gonna hit each other up like once every 6 months. Like, so have that now, travel now. Like, literally, I live in Louisiana. So, like, me and my girls, I'm like, yo, let's go to Houston again. 4 hour drive, stay for the weekend, come back. Like, even small stuff like that. Like, experience those times together. Take that singleness as a time for you to grow as a person and for you to have fun with your girly pops, bro. Please bring the girly pop summer. Please. Like literally, I have friends, like my two friends, Bree and John, they go on solo traveling, like they go on trips all the time. I'm trying to get like them. Like I'm really trying to like live life to the fullest in my 20s, make these memories in my 20s. So then when I have kids, I'm gonna be like, y'all have so much fun in your 20s. Like go travel, go see the world, go see life, experience life. Like being in a relationship is great, but like don't let that limit you. You know what I mean? Like you have so much to experience. So I don't know. I'm really like in that era right now, and I'm having a blast. I'm having so much fun. Like, I'm having so much fun. Like, when this comes out on Monday, but today, as I'm recording, I'm going out for my birthday with my friends today, and I can't wait for dinner. And I'm just so excited. And it's one of my best times hanging out with them. So it's the best. Last episode, I talked a lot about how like I felt kind of misunderstood and just like by like people that I felt like knew me and like really knew who I was, and it was a trip because I felt like I was doing the right things, and I just felt like every time I said something, people took it wrong, or I couldn't express myself. Like it was a problem if I expressed myself, because just because you didn't like how I expressed myself or how what I was saying, I couldn't do it, but y'all could. Like I just felt really stressed out last week, and I spoke about that in my podcast. But I think like I need to start like realizing like sometimes I feel like I let people that I'm friends with, or people that like I really truly care about, kind of sometimes not treat me the best, or I put up with it. Not even not treat me best, I put up with it for a little bit. Like I'll just like take note of the weird behavior and just not say anything about it, because like I don't want to ruin a relationship. I don't want to ruin a friendship. I don't want to ruin that. So sometimes I like if I care about you, I kind of let things slide a lot more than if like I didn't really know that person and I'm gonna like say how I feel to that person versus people that I care about so much. And I've talked about this before, like even with like my past friendships where I did feel hurt by certain things, but I didn't say anything because I didn't want to ruin the vibe. And even though I'm trying to grow from that and I'm trying to like stand up for myself more, it is harder with those certain people. And I feel like over the weekend and like throughout the week, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop letting people play in my face. Like, I can care about you and I can have that, and I can have that friendship with you. But if I feel like, bro, you're kind of doing me dirty, I feel like I should be open about that. And I think open communications and friendships are the best. The second that you don't have it is the second those friendships go downhill. And especially the friendships that I have now in my life at 24, I don't want to lose them. So, and it's normal. We're all, like, first off, we're girls, and girls have tits for tats. Like, girls have attitudes. We all have emotions. We just are very dramatic and extra. So it's not crazy that like we might have a little. I don't want to say fallouts, just little tits, little riffs, because that's we're women at the end of the day, and women are just. I love us, but we're dramatic, and we get in our feelings a lot, and you know, and but I've told myself like I don't appreciate these are people that I care about, right? But I don't appreciate the way they're treating me. I don't appreciate the way they're speaking about me. I don't appreciate the way that I feel when I'm around them. And I'm going to start speaking up more, and obviously in a respectful way, and because they're my friends. But I want to say it in a way of like, yo, what you're doing right now is hurting me. I don't appreciate it. Um, let's have a conversation, and hopefully let's like fix things in the future. And if I'm doing something that's hurting them, I want them to say it to me as well. I just feel like, bro, at this point, stop letting people play in your face. Because the second you let things slide, and if you keep letting things slide, it keeps happening. Okay, that I've known this and I've realized this and I'm going through it, and I just I feel like sometimes it's like I can express my emotions, but y'all can, or because I express them a certain way, it's a bit much. Like I don't know, and I don't like to feel uncomfortable, especially around people that I've grown so comfortable around. I don't want to start suddenly feeling uncomfortable. So have those conversations. Because for me, it's like, bro, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, that's shame on me right there. I can only take responsibility because I kept note and I was noticing weird behavior and I decided to stay or I decided to ignore them. And then boom, something bigger happens and then that's the blow up of it all. That's on me because I should have addressed them. But also, it's like, I feel like, why do I always have to address a situation? Like, why do I don't feel like it's on me to always have to address something. Like, especially if I feel like, if you feel like you did, like, okay, I am not someone who can hide my emotions. If I'm upset, it's very clear that I'm upset, or if I heard something that rubbed me the wrong way. It's very obvious. My face shows that I can't help it. I've been like this since I was a child. And I just feel like, as my friend, if you realize that something you said or did kind of made me feel a certain kind of way, why is it on me to be like, hey, what you said made me feel a certain kind of way? If you realized it and you noticed it, why can't you come to me? And it's like expected that I have to come to you for it. And it's like, bro, that's so whack. I'm not doing that. But it's like, you say that and then, like, I don't know, it's just so annoying. Because sometimes, like, I just feel like I'm always have to be the one to address something, or it's like if I don't, I'm the problem. And it's like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? And realistically, I'm just trying to keep the peace. In my brain, I'm just trying to keep the peace. I'm just trying to like not make it awkward in the moment. But it's like, you can't get upset with me for feeling weird about something you did and then expect me to fix a situation. What? That's crazy. Like, that's insane. And ugh, that's so irritating sometimes. But that's why I think it's also important in friendships and in relationships to set boundaries, especially in friendships. Please set boundaries. Like, it's very, you need to. You need to, you need to, you need to. I am on the boundary train right now. Like, there's just things that, like, I don't want to ruin this friendship. So let's set this boundary. And nobody wants to walk around with so many boundaries around them because that's exhausting. But it's like, if things keep happening, if the same thing keeps happening and it's upsetting me and it's affecting me and I feel like it's affecting our friendship, why not tell each other, hey, like, let's start talking to each other more, or let's really have some open communication that, like, if you're upset, please tell me. If I'm upset, I'll tell you, because those things will build up. And I'm someone where I may forgive, but I don't forget at all. I might forgive you for like something that happened, but it's hard for me to like forget it. I'm not a forget person. That will always stay with me and I will always remember. That's just how I am. Um, I think you should. I think you, and I'd also feel like I don't have to forgive right away. I can get to that point to forgiveness. I don't think forgiveness has to be an instant thing. If it takes me a minute to forgive you, then it takes me a minute to forgive you. And then that time when I do forgive you, I don't forget it though. Which I don't know, is that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I just don't because like I feel like it's you shouldn't forget when people hurt you or do things that aren't the nicest or say the nicest things. Like, I don't know, that's just me. And like, as much as like I love my friends and I love my family, there are things sometimes where it's like, yo, that hurt. And because you're someone in my life that I care about now, it hurts. It hurts more than it would coming from anybody else because now I value you in my life. And to have a person that you value say something to you that's not the nicest or something you didn't expect, yeah, it hurts differently. So I don't know, y'all. Like, stand up for yourselves a lot more. And you can stand up to your, like, we can stand up for yourself with your friends and make it still friendly. Like, it doesn't have to be this big hoopla. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be dramatic, but it's just like, yo, what you said, I didn't appreciate that. Like, didn't really appreciate that. That kind of hurt my feelings. Not kind of, it did. You know? Like, don't like, what's the word? Make your feelings feel less than. Don't say it did hurt my feelings. What you said hurt my feelings and I don't understand why you said it. That's a great conversation to have. And and you'll learn something from them too. Come at it correct, right? Nobody like don't come aggressive or like ready for a fight, but I know for me, I'm just someone where like I feel really hard and my emotions are a lot. So like when I'm upset or I feel like someone did something, I could my emotions are a lot and it feels more than it should, I guess. But I think having those important conversations, especially with people that you call your friends or your best friends, we throw that a word, we throw the best friend word around a lot. But like, if that's how you categorize these people in your life, you should be able to have those conversations. And if you feel like you can't have those conversations, then it's a problem. Sometimes I feel like I can't say this; I might rub this person the wrong way. Uh, Fix that. Like, I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't feel like I have to like filter myself anytime I speak to someone. You know what I mean? Like, so think about that. But never let anybody play in your face, bro. And if they fooled you once, that's shame on them because they thought that they could pull that on you. They fool you twice, it's on you, babe. I'm sorry, it has to be on you. You have to take responsibility because that person showed you who they were and you still let it happen. You know what I mean? Without addressing it. So uh do that. I always talk about friendship on here because I think it's important and I love my friends but I also think it's important to have respect in friendships and respect each other and everybody like I respect my friends, they should respect me, right? The way I treat them, they should treat me. You feel me? Like it goes both it goes hand in hand. It's not a one-way streak, so hey, girls are dramatic. And sometimes having friendship with women, it's like, bro, this is so exhausting. You know what I mean? Like guys can just like be like, all right, bro, yeah, I hurt your feelings, dap it up and move on. With women, it's like, ugh, it's just so exhausting. I hate us sometimes. Like, can we just chill? Like, please. We're so difficult. And I feel like because like I have a history of giving like past friendships chances after chances after chances, sometimes I feel like I get to a point where I'm like, yo, maybe this friendship was just for the season and it wasn't supposed to be forever. Like, cause this is exhausting and I don't want to have to go through this all the time. And like it hurts even more when you feel like you found such a good friend group and then it starts like rippling. But I think it's normal. There's probably you might have friends where y'all never argue, and there may be friendships where y'all might have little tiffs. But if we can get over those tiffs and those tiffs start getting less, then that's a good thing. I think especially when like people just have different personalities, you might butt heads at times, but at this in the grand scheme of things, we love each other. So like put the love first, but also don't put the respect that you have for yourself last. Does that make sense? And like I also feel like this one's kind of like out there, but I saw some girl. This kind of goes back to what I was saying at first about like being in a relationship and like thinking everything will change because you're with someone, or like thinking that your life will it be enhanced because you're with a man. I saw a girl that on TikTok that was like, I am so the opposite of a hopeless romantic, and I was like, girl, same. Like I see things for how they are for what it is in front of me, and yes, like everybody wants to be in love, everybody wants to have a relationship, but I'm not going to sacrifice anything to have it. Okay, I'm not going to sacrifice my self-respect. for that I have for myself for someone. I'm just not that kind of girl, bro. And like everybody has red flags. Everybody on the planet has red flags. I have red flags. There's some things that people might say for me is a red flag. But like to think that like, oh, he could do no wrong. Girl, please be so for real. He could do a lot of wrong. Okay? And the fact that you're putting this perspective of like he can't do any wrong is like you're doing the most. And it's so whack. Like please be so for real. Um, and then and then I think it just goes back to like kind of what I was saying about like in my 20s, like you don't have a lot of time with your girls. You also don't have a lot of time to take risks, guys. Take those risks now. Next week I'm going to a conference and I'm so excited about it and like what can come out of that. And I see a lot of opportunity coming out of that, and that's a big risk that I'm taking, and my life could change from this conference. So I'm excited about it, and I'm really putting myself first and thinking about myself and thinking about my life and where I want my life to look like and where I want it to go. So like I'm super psyched about it. Um so take those risks, guys. We're so young, and like take those risks, respect yourself, have respect for others, be treated the way you want to be treated. And if you're not being treated the way you want to be treated, hop out of that situation. Okay? Point blank, period. Okay, now what I really want to talk about, let's go into the reality recap because we had a lot going on. So we wrapped it up with the summer house reunion with the little part 4 snippet they did. We had Amanda and Lindsay having a conversation, West and Kyle, and Miha and Sierra. And there's just some things that I took away from it that I just was a little annoyed about. Also, Amanda was not manipulated. I feel like we need to stop saying that. She's not a victim in this situation at all. Okay? Rest propositioned her and said, "How about is there something going on here?" And you said yes, and you went with it. He didn't manipulate you. Yes, were you in a vulnerable state? You just got a 10-year relationship, but you decided out of a 10-year relationship to hop back into another relationship. You decided to do that. She was not being manipulated, and she's not a victim. Is Wes manipulative? Yes, but we need to stop trying to like not give Amanda and not have Amanda stay Amanda did wrong, and I feel like there's so much of like trying to like take the heat off of Amanda. She's a grown woman. She's in her 30s and she made that decision to do it anyways, to hook up with not only her best friend's ex, but her husband's friend too. Like she decided to do that at the end of the day. So like I feel like Lindsay sometimes was trying to like cover it up was trying to like not have her take accountability by saying you got manipulated. Amanda is a grown woman and she made a grown woman decision, and she will have to face the grown woman consequences. And that is just it. Like this Amanda is a victim thing needs to stop. I can't handle it. Because she's sitting there and Lindsay's telling her, like, he's on the phone with Mia, he's still out with girls, and she just went to Italy with him. She don't care. And this was after this conversation. She doesn't care. And like to say that she's like a victim or whatever, we need to stop, please. Please. And like a part of me is like, okay, this whole like Kyle was a terrible husband narrative needs to stop. Because was he the best? No. Like by no means was he a good husband from what we saw. But we only really saw it from Kyle because Kyle was very open about it and he went off on camera. We don't know what Amanda said or did behind the scenes. I mean, we saw their apartment. Amanda wasn't a perfect wife either, is what I'm basically trying to say. Like, and to put this all on Kyle, we know Kyle wasn't a good husband because he presented it to the public on screen. We don't know how Amanda was when she got back home or what Amanda did or said to Kyle. So like, yeah, we can painting this picture of Kyle as a terrible husband kind of needs to stop. Like he wasn't the best at all, but Amanda wasn't perfect by far. And hot news, West is not returning to Summer House. Thank you. Like I feel like I kind of knew he wasn't going to return because I don't see how the show is going to survive with him there. And I feel like they're really valuing Sierra right now, and I think they're going to focus the show around her, and the show's not going to happen if he's there. She will not speak to him ever again. Like, please, we know she won't speak to that man ever again, and he will never be graced with her presence. So I think it's also good because it's like Wes will go on his podcast and talk for hours, but at the reunion, you can't do it. And like these people are supposedly your friends. You're not acting like a friend. And I just don't see how it would work with him on the show, period. And I think he's gonna take a time off reality TV for like the next probably year or two. He's probably gonna pop back up on our screens, but not on Summer House. I think that was a good decision to make. And I think he knew when he did this his life was over. I just don't think he cared. Or he probably thought he could get away with it. Sorry, but you didn't. he probably like can get away with it because Tom Sandoval came back for the next season. But I think Sierra really put her foot down and was like, I will not do it if he's there. And he's not going to be there. It's still up in the air if Amanda's going to, come back. I don't think she will. I think she's just going to stay on In the City and see how that goes. But, like, Wes has no business being on that show anymore. You lied to not even just them, but all your friends for months. And it's just stupid. And I'm so happy they made that decision. And I think, like, seeing, like, how much they were, like, willing to just justify and justify and justify their actions were really upsetting because it's just like, yo, there's nothing y'all can say that can make this okay. Like, and for y'all to think, did they think they could get away with this? Did they think that this could be something that they could get away with in some way? That, like, I just don't get that part of that at all. And the fact that they're still lying, like, they're still lying. The fact that he was on a conversation, he had a phone call with Miha for 6 hours. What were y'all talking about? And saying that, like, oh, she won. Miha thought y'all were in a relationship. And, like, people can't, I see people saying, like, not Miha being on the phone with him for 6 hours. Y'all act like y'all have never went back to an ex or, like, still talk to an ex after y'all broken up. Like, please be so for real. Like, this was a girl who thought she had a real exclusive relationship with this man, and she thought she was in on the joke. Like, oh, nobody knows about me. Like, she thought she was in on it, but she was getting played too. And I think it's hard, and like we shouldn't like put this on her as if like she should have known. Like, there's no way she would have known that, and like we need to give her some grace. And as a woman, like that sucks to know that like something you thought was real was fake. She also met his family, and it's like, yo, like I really thought I was being integrated into your life when you were lying to me forever, and then you cheated on me on television as well, and then you dropped me and got with this girl, and now you're calling me behind the scenes so she doesn't hear. Like, now she's a secret. Well, she thought she wasn't a secret, but she really was. But now that she's not in it, she realizes that, whoa, I really was just like something you were hiding. And that sucks. That sucks. And like, I just feel so bad for her. And like, I heard rumors that they might put her on this season or the next season. I don't know. I really don't care if they do or not. They bring in new people all the time. I think it'd be interesting to know her. I mean, she got pulled into this when she didn't really want to be or choose to be. So, hey, if they bring her on, they bring her on. But I don't know, that sucks. And like all of us every woman on this planet has been in a relationship where they probably thought it was one thing and it was completely the other. And Wes lived a completely different life. Had this girl living at his apartment over the weekends while he was in the summer house, coming back, telling her about the weekends, kissing Sierra, touching Sierra, doing all these things, kissing other girls. We have to think of that. Like, she got cheated on multiple times. He kissed Sierra. He kissed another girl, and she's with him. Like, that's so sad. And like having like seeing those clips of like Jesse be like, "How's Miha?" Like, people obviously knew about her, and he was telling them it's not serious, so they think it was an issue. And that's just like whack. And like Wes is just one of those men that like, ugh, he's just disgusting. And like to think, and if Amanda thinks he's just gonna drop things and change for her, she's crazy. And the fact that like you really think this is the man you want to go to from being with Kyle, like another guy with commitment issues? Like, in what way did she think this was a smart idea? She still doesn't think she's still not acting very smart because she's still with him. It's crazy. And it's like the fact, do you think this will last? It's not gonna last. And like, I don't know. At the end of the day, I feel really bad for, and like I don't even know Miha, but like she's a woman, and she's a woman who thought she was in love with someone, and that person wasn't, and treated her like crap, and she had to find out with everybody on national television when she didn't sign up for that. She didn't deserve that. You know what I mean? Like everybody else signed up to be on Summer House and signed up for their lives to be like this. Miha didn't. So we have to be more considerate of people's emotions, please. Okay, enough of Summer House. We'll visit back Summer House next season. I know they're filming currently right now, or they're about to film in July. So we'll see how that goes. But on to my favorite show, Love Island. First, we need to talk about Casey and Anaya. I think, do we all realize that Casey and Anaya will not survive Casa more, right? Like, that's just not going to happen. The fact that he was the only boy trying to keep Soul, the only one who wanted to keep her, yeah, babe, this ain't gonna last. And he so badly wants to explore, y'all. He will be at Casa having a time. Okay? A time. And I feel like Anaya, here's how I think it's gonna go. Casey's gonna find some girls that he clicks with at Casa Amor and then bring one of them back to the villa. Anaya, on the other hand, will find someone she clicks with better than she clicks with KC, but she will think like her relationship with Casey is so deep and she'll leave that person behind, come back for Casey while Casey has another girl. That's how I think it's gonna happen. And that sucks for her, but I feel like at this point, like you've got so many like signs showing that like Casey really wants to explore. He's very open. He's not really like that deep into this relationship. You should know this by now. But I don't know. That's how I just feel like the relationship is going to go. I don't see it really going anywhere. So Casey and I aren't going to last. I think we wanted them to in the beginning. I was team Casey and Anaya, but it's just not gonna work that way. It's not gonna happen. So like claps for Soul. Can we just clap for Soul? I'm so happy she stood up for herself. Not only with sincere and being like, yo, like you really led me along and you knew you wanted Melanie. You could have just said you wanted Melanie, but instead you're over here calling me beloved, making me feel seen and wanted and heard when you really didn't want to be with me. And he sat there being like, you think you're innocent too. What did she do? Can someone tell me what Soul did to him? Soul did nothing to this man. Like, you led her on, and because now she's like calling you out on it, you're upset about it? No. I'm so happy she did. And she was at that fire pit when when they voted her off. And they had Sincere vote her off. They had Sincere give the speech. That's crazy. And like, I'm so happy when she was like, yeah, I knew this is not surprising. Like, y'all were all closed off to me. Nobody wanted to speak to me. I didn't have a chance. Like, this is Love Island, but this is Couples Island right here. I'm so happy she said that because she didn't have a chance. And they know they didn't give her a real shot and a real opportunity. And that sucks that they sent her home and then they had Sincere do it. But she stood up for herself very well. And I'm very proud of her. And I think we'll see Soul in the future. I think she'll either be on Love Island Games or she'll come back as a bombshell next season or as like the cast. I don't know. I think she deserves a better opportunity. I feel like she really got the crappy end of the stick and like I loved her and I really wanted her there and I feel like Casey should have 100% explored Soul. And I think if he would have Anaya, he would have left Anaya. And if he would have, we would have put her with Casey and not Sincere. Crazy. Who knows how that would have went. And I see people say like, oh, she was a bombshell. She should have been pulling a bunch of people. But if she's having conversations with these people and they're saying they're closed off, like, how is she gonna pull them? Like, you know what I mean? And yeah, that was just hard to me to watch for her. Then with then Mackenzie or Kenzie and Caleb, girl, Kenzie really played in Caleb's face. Like, can we be so for real? She really played in that man's face and like acted like she really wanted to be with him when she really didn't. And like her hiding the kiss from him and like she was being shady. Kenzie, I'm kind of falling out of love with. Like, I just don't know. She's just does things that I'm just like, okay, this is annoying and like I don't feel like watching this at all. I think her and Corbin actually like each other, but I think she treated Caleb like crap and like she was like, "Can we still be friends?" Like, no, you just played me. Like, no, we can't be friends. And like wasted his time because he was so invested in you when you knew you really weren't that invested in him. She just wanted different guys. Like she's even said it. Like she wants a buffet. She doesn't just want an apple. And you got a buffet, and then you treated everybody kind of whack. So they're not my favorite at all. I can be fine if they leave. I really wouldn't care if they got off my island. Jen as well. Like Gabe's gone, so I'm like, what is Jen still doing here? She's a little bland for me. She's not really giving me much at all. And now that Gabe's gone, I'm like, why is she here? Like, there's no reason for her to be here. And Zach was at the fire pit, like, oh, she's not even sad that he's gone. You want her to cry 40 days and 40 nights for this man? Like, she just met him. Like, who are you talking about? And like, them like getting all mad at the girls and being like, why would y'all do that to Gabe? Why would y'all do that to Gabe? Pause. These men get in their feelings so hard about this. Y'all take these bromances to the next level. Like, please be so for real. Like, they got to make a decision. And you know what? I'm happy they kept Caleb. Caleb deserves a real opportunity. All of y'all got a real opportunity. Why can't he? You know what I mean? So I think not that I wanted to see Gabe go, but I think honestly, I think they should have sent Corbin and Kinsey home. I'm kind of over them, but I think Caleb deserved to stay. I think Caleb and Soul deserved to stay. They deserve to go to Casa and to find another connection. Like that sucks for them that they can't experience that. They were so bothered. Like the guys were so bothered by that. It was giving me the ick. Like Trinity was like, "Why upset? Like y'all should be sad, not upset." Like they were doing the most, but Also, like Casey saying that Trinity and Bryce aren't a strong couple, or like I'm surprised they were in the top four. Like, why? 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 Because you and Anaya, people are voting for y'all because we like Anaya, but like y'all aren't really a good. Y'all's couple isn't in a good standing point, and like Brittany and Trinity and Bryce are. So like for him to make that comment was a little shady, and Bryce ran to Trinity with that. And the show it ended with Trinity telling Anaya like, "Hey, he wanted to keep Soul. He was the only person he wanted to keep Soul. You should know this. Here's his information. Do with it what you will." And I don't know how Anaya is gonna take that, but it's true. Like he did want to keep Soul. He wanted to explore Soul. And if you want to do that, that's fine. But to be like putting down other couples is stupid. Like that's so whack. That's so whack. And I feel like Anaya's gonna call him out on it. I mean, Casa Amore's on Sunday, so who really knows what their conversation is gonna be like? But she's going to like ask him about it and be like, "Yo, what's up with this?" And like, you know what I mean? Like things need things really need they really need to iron some stuff out because I feel like Anaya's all for him, but Casey knows. He keeps saying, I really need to explore. I need to owe it to myself to explore," which he should, but be honest about it. I think is what Anaya's coming from. Like, if you want to explore so badly, just say, "Hey, I want to explore," and do it. I think it's the fact that like he keeps saying he's fine and he's content, but if you were, then you wouldn't be saying these other things to other people. So it's like you're saying this to me, but I'm being told this by other people, and I don't like that, and it's making me look stupid. It does. It makes her look crazy. And the guys are like, "Why is she crashing out?" It's because he's not telling her that she wants to explore. Like, just say it. Like, it's not that hard. I feel like men just like try to, on Love Island, try to act like they don't understand where these women are coming from. Just be honest, bro. That's what Soul was saying to Sincere. Just be honest with me. It's not that hard. You're getting in more trouble. And the fact, and I'm like, they're getting in more trouble for not being honest. When you could have just said this up front and we could have handled it. Like, ugh. I don't know, but I'm having a ball this season. I feel like people keep saying like this season's boring or it's slow or whatever. Are the people who haven't really watched Love Island? Like the other seasons were dramatic. Yes, they were, but that's really not how Love Island is. Like I've been watching it since season one. Like it's really not a lot of hoopla. There's hoopla, but it's not like crazy drama every season. And like I think every episode's great. Like and I feel like the only downside is that like people aren't exploring, and that's what's like making it a little harder to watch. But I feel like it's a good season. You know what I mean? Like I'm enjoying it and I'm having fun with it. And the people that are saying they can't stand it are still watching. Y'all are still tuning in every day. So which one is it? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just love reality TV, so everything is good to me. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much the episode. Thank y'all for watching and listening, and I can't wait to talk to you guys again next week. And I'll come back with the full story of how my week goes, and I'm excited. So yeah, I'll see y'all next time. This is a blessings. Bye, guys.